The Galactic Concord expected Earth to send negotiators, generals, or diplomats wrapped in medals and speeches. They had burned 3 human colonies and issued an apology thick with excuses. The council chamber waited for uniforms, bright with rank and tradition. Instead, the human envoy arrived in silence. No banners followed them. No music announced their presence. They wore army suits without insignia, dull fabric, no colors of pride or heritage. The Concordanalis whispered in confusion. These humans did not carry ceremonial weapons. They carried tools of close work, blades balanced for hands, not parades, rifles scarred by use rather than polish. Their eyes never wandered. The Concord's supreme speaker leaned forward and asked where Earth's generals were. The lead human replied calmly that Earth did not send generals. Earth sent killers. The chamber laughed, briefly, nervously. They assumed it was a translation error or cultural bravado. No one laughed when the human continued. Generals debate. Killers finish wars. You asked for an end to conflict. We came to deliver it. The silence that followed was heavier than any threat. Somewhere in orbit, human ships powered down weapons and opened doors. Not to launch fleets, but to release people. People trained to end fights before they became wars. The killers. In army suits did not attend banquets or councils. They did not argue terms or demand territory. They studied maps, supply lines, and sleep cycles. Where other species glorified command, humans glorified completion. These soldiers were not heroes from recruitment posters. They were the ones called. After heroes failed, they moved in teams small enough to be forgotten. They memorized enemy languages only to understand screams and silence. They learned alien biology not to heal, but to end life efficiently. One Concord commander mocked them. He said war was honor, not murder. The human only nodded. That commander died 3 nights later. No alarms were triggered. No witnesses survived long enough to testify. The Concord military began losing officers, then specialists, then logisticians. No battle was declared. No front line formed. Food convoys arrived empty. Communications collapsed into static and fear. Weapons locked themselves behind dead hands. The killers never announced victories. They erased capability, not populations. They left civilians untouched, confused, and terrified. The Concord began to understand slave Earth was not fighting an army. Earth was removing the idea of resistance. There were no grand engagements recorded in history. No sky filled with fire. No heroic last stands. Instead, there were missing admirals. There were power stations that failed quietly. There were fleets that drifted without command. The killers wore army suits because they were still soldiers. They followed rules written in scars and memories. They did not kill for pleasure. They killed to make sure killing stopped. One alien strategist finally confronted a captured human. He demanded to know why Earth refused traditional war. The human answered simply, traditional war costs millions of lives. This costs only the guilty. The Concord attempted surrender. But Earth did not negotiate until the danger was gone. Promises were not enough. The killers continued until no weapon could be raised against Earth again. They dismantled war economies. They erased secret fleets and hidden arsenals. When the last threat ended, they stopped immediately. No celebrations followed. They cleaned their gear. They recorded names of the dead. They prepared to go home. Only then did Earth send diplomats. Only then did generals appear. They arrived to a galaxy already disarmed. The Concord leaders asked in fear why humans escalated so completely. Earth's general replied calmly, "You burned our worlds and called it strategy. We responded with finality." The diplomats explained Earth's doctrine. War is failure. If war is forced, it must end permanently. Other species watched carefully. They saw that humans did not seek domination. They sought certainty. Never again became policy. Never again became method. The killers were never named. Their faces never shown. They faded back into anonymity. But the lesson remained. Earth did not threaten. Earth demonstrated. Years later, new civilizations studied the archives. They asked why Earth was never challenged again. Veteran diplomats answered quietly, because Earth does not posture. Earth does not warn twice. They send killers in army suits. People who do not argue ideology. People who remove problems at the root. The galaxy learned to speak softly around human space. Not out of hatred, but out of understanding. Earth did not conquer the stars. Earth made war unprofitable. And in that quiet era of uneasy peace, the killers rested, hoping never to be sent again. Because when Earth sends them, the conversation is already over.